data transformation. So basically in data transformation, so basically we have two types of data, numerical and categorical, as I have discussed previously. And so here we basically deal with the categorical features, because numerical feature will scale further in next steps. So for categorical features, so basically many algorithms cannot work with this kind of data, male, female, male, because they need data in numerical form. Okay, so in categorical features we replace those values with some numerical values in data transformation. So in categorical features, we have two types of categorical data. One is nominal, other is ordinal. Ordinal is basically the values that has some order or scale attached to it. Like for an example, if I talk about grades, we have A, B, C, D, and as you know that there is a particular order, because A is the best, B is then second number, C is the third grade. So there is a scale attached to it. Okay, and the other example we can take is average, better, best, good. This also have a certain, what we call it, a value or a scale attached to it. It is basically a scale for measuring. Okay, so this basically all comes under ordinal features. Then we have nominal features. Nominal is basically allows you to assign categories, but there are no orders attached to it. Like for an example, if we talk about gender is male and female, but there is no order in that. Okay, so we basically have two types of categorical feature, nominal features and ordinal features. Now, according to what kind of categorical data we have, because when we have nominal feature, we'll use different method for data transformation, and when we have ordinal feature, we will use another method of data transformation. Okay, so we total have two techniques. One is one hot encoding, and next is label encoder. So basically in one hot encoding, it is used for creating categorical features, first case, and it is mostly used for ordinal data. And by ordinal data, I mean which has some scales arranged to it. Like for an example, I'll take here no scale is attached, but I'm just giving the information from the code that how it basically works and what is the syntax for the same. So like here, as you can see, this is our categorical features. Okay, so what one hot encoding will do, it will create separate columns for each and every data, unique data in the categorical feature or ordinal feature. So as you can see, we have we import the one hot encoder from sklearn library. We create the model for that, and then we transform our data according to that model. As you can see, it has created separate columns for each and every country. As you can see, we have three new features added, 0, 1 and 2, and basically it has assigned 0 values to India, it has assigned Japan as 1, it has assigned US as 2. So in that case, we perform one hot encoding. Okay, and the next is label encoding. In label encoding, we basically use this for nominal kind of data. Okay, where it assigns the value, where it does not create multiple columns. It generally assigns the values, say alphabetical order. As you can see, here it creates different columns. Here the same, it has assigned the values in one column only. It has encoded the India with 0, US with 2, Japan with 1. Okay, so now what happens, why don't we use a label encoder with the ordinal data? Okay, so as I discussed, or in ordinal data, we have a sequence or a scale attached to it. So what will happen, label encoder with randomly will assign the values. Okay, will randomly assign the value. So say it gives 0 to A, 1 to B, 2 to C, and what will happen is a machine learning model will give preference, or will get what do we say will get affected with the values, because we don't want to give higher um, precedence or higher value to the one to the C, which has encoded as 2. Okay, so therefore it creates different features for all the ordinal data. After handling the data transformation, in this we basically there are two techniques: one hot encoding and label encoder. After we perform splitting of data set, so basically here we divide the data set in a certain ratio, say 20/80, 30/70. Here basically test size shows us the same, that in what ratio we are dividing the data. And by dividing the data, I mean we divide it into two sets: training set and test set. Training set is where our model learns. Okay, with the help of training set, our model learns, and in test set, our model applies. Okay, so this is basically the splitting of data set. It basically here we split our data into training set and test set. In training set, our data is trained, and in test set, the model is tested. And we, if we choose test size is 20%, that means uh, the 20% data takes in train, and 80% data takes in test. Okay, so after this we move to the last method, that is feature scaling. And feature scaling, okay, so here as you can see, I'll just explain that why do we need feature scaling first. Okay, so feature scaling is the method to limit the range of variables so that they can be compared on a common grounds. Okay, this is basically the definition of this. So now as you can see, here we have age and here we have salary. And if we see the scale of the Okay, so in feature scaling, as you can see, here we have two numerical columns, age and salary. And the scale of age is basically in like, around 50 to 50 to say max 100. Okay, and the scale of the salary is in 1000, 10,000, 50,000s. Okay, so the scale of both the numerical columns varies, and our machine learning model will automatically give preference to the values that have more scale. Okay, so to prevent that to happen, we scale the data, and basically by scaling, I mean it changes the data in such a way that there is not much difference in the range of the variables. Okay, it basically for example, it basically scales the data down zeros and one, that we'll see further. Okay, so basically there are two methods of scaling our data. First is standardization, next is min-max scaler. So in standardization, it basically is also known as Z-score normalization, and it uses Z-score statistic for the standardization. Okay, and next we have min-max scaler. In min-max scaler, all the data features is in the range of 0 to 1 or in the range of -1 to 1. Okay, and it basically uses this formula, and the library used in standard scaler is standardization is standard scaler from scalar and preprocessing. And here we have the library min-max scaler. And after scaling our data, we can move forward with the machine learning model. So as you can see, we have almost get rid of every issues that can be present in a data set. Okay, I'll just briefly go through the steps once again. So we collected the data from various sources, we imported the libraries, we imported the data set in our Jupyter, and after that we just took a look what kind of issues we are going to have in our data. And basically we do this with the help of EDA, and after that we perform data cleaning. In data cleaning, we got rid of structural issues or issues related to the data capitalization and all. And in data cleaning, we also get rid of missing values and outliers that can cause major issues in our machine learning model. Then we move forward to the data transformation, where we encoded our categorical data into a numerical values. Then we move forward to the splitting of data set, where we divided our data set into training set and testing set that will be used for the machine learning model. Next we have feature scaling, that is basically the last step. In feature scaling we scale our data according to the according in why we do that because to normalize the scale values, the scale difference between the numerical features. So okay, so one thing I'll explain once again is that why we do feature scaling after splitting of dataset. Okay, so here what happens, we in xtrain, remember xtrain we created, in xtrain our data learns how to scale, and in xtest it transforms the data. So after all these steps of data pre-processing, our data is ready and does not contain any further issues, and it can be taken further for the machine learning model. So this was all about the data pre-processing and machine learning, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. That's it. Thank you.